Global Fight Talk. I am here with Christopher Jones. Christopher is going to be fighting this weekend, this Saturday, January 16th at the Gas Monkey in Dallas, Texas. His record is 4 wins and 1 defeat. He's going to be facing a very experienced guy. His name is Anthony Bowman. I believe I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Not too sure. He has over 30 fights. And, again, this is this weekend, and while we're talking to Chris, we're going to ask about the tickets because I know he might still be selling them, or you can go online, or you just might have the opportunity to buy it there. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for taking the time out. I know it's this week. This week is always crucial. It's the last week of losing those last pounds.
Very
not
true.
too sure. Are you on point, or do you still have some more to go?
We're getting there. I got a couple left, but you know how it is. It's just one of those things.
Oh, believe me, trust me, I know how it is. It's those last few that just won't come off. Those are the hardest ones. Those are the hardest ones. So
Very
how long
true.
have you been, again, you're fighting Anthony. He's a very experienced guy. What do you know about your opponent?
I know that he's very tough and aggressive. He's clearly not afraid of anyone. He has 22 consecutive losses, and I know that he has 70 pro fights.
Wow.
So I know that he's not afraid to get in the ring, which is great for me. I know he's been knocked out 20 times, which is also great for me. And I know he's really gonna bring the pressure and the experience, which is also great for me. So technically, this is all working in my favor. I'm not worried one bit.
You have 5 professional fights.
I do.
That has nothing to. You have 5, and you're still young in your career. And what's gonna, again, what helps you is you having that amateur experience, and that's probably why. That's one of the reasons you're taking on a more veteran guy. I know that you fought someone like that in the past, and that was Slow-Mo, Larry Smith. He had a lot of fights, and those are the type of the guys that are very, very tough and will get in there with anybody. And so I know your game. This guy, obviously, who has lots of fight, is going to be game. So that's going to make a very action-packed fight. So is this guy a southpaw, orthodox?
I wouldn't even be able to tell you, to be honest with you. I just got the name Monday. And
you just got it Monday.
Right.
Okay.
We were actually.
Were you supposed to fight someone else?
We were, and I don't know exactly what happened with that, but once that fell through, next thing I know, I see my name on a poster with Anthony, and which is fine. It doesn't matter. In amateurs, we find out the same day who we're fighting. So I mean, it's not any discouragement whatsoever. I don't feel like I need to change anything as far as my game plan. I think it's going to benefit me a lot more because fighting guys such as Anthony with his record and what he can bring to my game, he's only going to mold me to make me a better fighter in the long run. And so that's, these are the type of fights that I want anyways. I want someone who's going to push me to my limits and as well as, give me the fight that I need.
Well, Chris, talking about, experienced fighters, I know that your family has a background of just fighting. So I know you have some great sparring partners. You've been around the game for a long time. Your family has, and plus, the family itself fights. They're all fighters themselves. So how's training camp? How's training camp coming along? And who's been your sparring partners throughout this camp? Whether you knew you were fighting someone else and now you're fighting this person. So how's that been coming along?
Well, lately, or majority of the time, I always spar. Hold on, my mind just went blank.
It's okay.
He's with. I can't think of his name.
It's okay.
Oh, Big A, Adrian.
Okay.
Big A, yeah. I always spar Big A because he's a natural heavyweight. He fights at heavyweight. He actually just got back from the Olympic trials.
Oh wow.
So I spar him because he's bigger than me, but when we get great work. So he's since I walk around heavy, he's who kind of helps me. And then as I drop down lower in weight, then we'll find some other guys who are not necessarily hit as hard or not as fast or whatever, just to keep me on the right straight and narrow coming down as far as losing weight and everything like that. Kind of helps with me not getting discouraged or worrying about getting hurt, just worry about focusing on what we need to do.
Okay.
So, I mean, we kind of have like a handful of people that we spar.
Do you ever spar your brother?
No, I don't spar any of my brothers.
You don't?
No.
Is there any reason why? Is it just because it's a sibling thing, or?
No, my brothers spar each other all the time. Me, I was I don't know if you remember him, Luis Matamontes. He used to train me when I first started out, and I was taught you never work. I mean, I used to spar Americo Santos back when he was a name.
Yeah, I remember him.
Getting hit, him. I sparred Kieran. I sparred everyone. The Marcus Wrecking Ball Hicks. I've sparred everyone, and they used to just honestly just give me some work, leave me crying when I left the gym, and so, which was great for me in the long run, of course.
Oh, I know Marcus personally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah, he doesn't go light. He doesn't go light.
He doesn't. I was like 17 years old getting thrown in the wall by him, or thrown into the ropes. So I mean, so with sparring people like that, it changed me as far as like my ring. So like if I get hit, I'm hitting you with everything that I have. Where I'm not the one you go to for work. So with that, so that's why I don't really work with my brothers as far as sparring. I mean, I'll help them with the pads and stuff like that, but I mean, it's my brothers, and I don't really have like a chill factor when it comes to getting inside the ring. So I have to work with other people.
Yeah, and that's understandable. But how awesome is it to work or train beside your brother and, your family? Does that just give you motivation or a boost? Is that just better for you? I've never known a family like that who's everybody pretty much fights. And you guys all always training and traveling together. You guys are a very close-knit family. Does that help you? Does that push you because you see your brother or and everyone else around you winning and training hard? Does that just motivate you even more?
I think over the years it really kind of helps keep the flame alive and keep everyone really intrigued in what we're doing and feeling like we all have a purpose because we all get to work together. My older brother, D'Anthony, is professional now. He kind of like paved the way as far as the professional ranks. And so being able to watch him and watch him grow. And, of course, we do have Alex Clarkson, who's part of the team as well. And he's family. It's our family. It just like so it's us as far as, and it's, of course, his sister's professional too. Just watching D and working against D and him pushing me and telling him and hearing him say that he looks up to me and me knowing that I look up to him, it kind of fuels us and keeps us going. And then, of course, we have our mom who's like, the backbone and just keeps us motivated, is always praying for us, always telling us what we need to do, always reminding us of who we are and where we come from. And it's just very humbling, and as well as, watching our younger brothers come up and knowing where they want to be. It just, as a whole, it's something you don't see very often, and the fact that I get to experience it is just a beautiful thing.
Right. How awesome is it to have your mom around? I know when my son used to fight, and I would get nervous, but as soon as he started, I swear I thought I was his coach and his only coach because the mom would come out of me, and I always wanted to protect my son, but of course he could protect himself or whatnot. But does your mom ever just is she great motivation for you? For being there and cheering you on and giving you guidance?
It's like I said, it's just. We really had to grow to get to the point that we're at. I remember when we first started fighting, my mom was a nervous wreck. She had her rosary out. Everything was crazy. I mean, she was a nervous wreck. As we started growing and she saw us fighting more, she got more comfortable. And as she got more comfortable, she moved closer and closer to the ring. And now she's my cut man or cut woman. And so when she's in there, I mean, like just the other day, I told her I want barbecue after weigh-in. She said, if you knock this guy out, I'll pay for it. She's like, but she needs to knock his ass out. So my mom is like, there's not another woman that I know like her, able to motivate us but keep us humble at the same time. So
right.
she knows our ability, and, of course, a mother knows their child more than anybody.
Exactly.
So to have our mother part of our team and able not only to know our ability, but to push us to our limits, and even when we want to give up, won't allow it, it's just, it's something, you can't really ask for anything better.
It's a beautiful thing to see a family work together, but to fight together. I remember years ago when I started fighting, and I think it was my third pro fight, and I remember someone interviewed me, and of course it's a family affair for us just as well, and my husband trains me, and they asked me, how was it for your own husband to train you? And I said, my answer back, a family that fights together, stays together, almost like that pray together thing, and it's just fun. It's fun, and you're it's always family time, whether you're working or not. It's always family time.
Always, and no one has you like your family.
Exactly.
No one has your back like your family.
After this fight, after your win, correct? Because we're going to say you're going to win. What do you want to go from here? Is this something that a lot of people sometimes they make it as a hobby. Some people as a hobby.
Right.
Some people are like, oh, let me try it out. Let me see how far I can get to. But is your mindset, I want to be a world champion. I want to go far in this boxing game?
Honestly, when I first turned, when the idea of pro coming up, or let's take it back a few years, when I was still in my amateur days fighting ringside and things like that, I always told myself I'd never go pro. I was going to school. I was going to do this, and that. Things changed. I'm professional now. I kind of had like a slow start. I turned pro in 2013. I'm now on my 5th fight, just because I work so much, taking care of family. I do have 2 kids. And
they're beautiful, by the way, because I was Facebook stalking your pictures. They're beautiful. Oh, you have how many?
I have 2.
Two. Okay, I thought
boys.
You said 3, and I thought I could have sworn I saw 2.
No, just 2.
Okay.
So the 2 boys. And so I work, try to provide for them, and then I had a long talk with my mom after my last fight. I was very excited about my last fight. I wound up headlining for the same promotions that I'm fighting for now.
At the Majestic Theater. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So I wound up headlining. So that was that was a different feeling. It's kind of like I felt like I was revived almost. Boxing for so long or doing anything for so long kind of gets repetitive. So I just felt like I was kind of rejuvenated, and I was so intrigued by everything. And so I told my mom this year, I need to jumpstart. I'm knocking majority of my opponents out. I'm not fighting very long. I want at least 10 fights this year. Chavez did it. There's been tons of fighters who've been able to do it. There's no reason why I can't get at least 10 fights this year. So after this fight, I would say, I was kind of a little lazy during this camp. I won't lie. Christmas and everything, followed by my birthday, and just the holidays in general. And so after this fight, I'm already looking for my next fight. And then after that, I want another fight. And I want consistent fights until I at least get 10, because I need my record just to spike. And that's what I want.
Right.
That's my goal by the end of the year. I try not to think too far ahead. Once this year is done, then I'll go to next year and figure out my plans. But as of right now, I need to at least get in the light to where a world championship or a champion, any type of belt, is in my favor. Is in my sight.
That's awesome. Well, I wish you all the best with that. I know as an athlete, as a fighter, people don't understand what athletes go through. They only see when you walk in the ring. That's it. And they might hear about your camp, and they might see you post this, how your camp is going. But sometimes they don't realize there's so many trials and tribulations through your camps, whether it might be personal issues or financial issues, drama, injuries, or whatnot. People don't see how mentally strong a fighter has to be walking in that ring with everything outside is just chaotic. Sometimes.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
And people don't realize that the people around you, as far as your camp, how much they have to be strong for you just as well. Because at any minute, at any moment, you could be like, forget this. This is all getting to me. And it's just not, you don't have to be physically strong. You really have to be mentally mentally strong as a fighter to walk in that ring. Anybody you look up to as far as fighter, just anyone, who do you look up to? Is there someone that you like to say, hey, this is someone I want to be, I love his style, hopefully one day I could be like this person? Is there anybody that you look up to as far as a pro fighter, or just anyone particular?
Miguel Cotto. I try to imitate his style a lot, and I've done that for the past few years, try to learn little tricks that he's done. I'm a completely different fighter as far as the aggression aspect, where he's a little bit safer than I am. I take a lot more shots, clearly. But I really love his style of fighting. I love his pose. I love how poised he is. I love how he moves and how he just his confidence is at a different level than most fighters. And so I'm very intrigued by his style of fighting.
It's crazy because when my son used to fight, sometimes the cornermen have to have some secret codes or whatever so the other opponent or the coaches won't hear what and one of the things we used to say, because his favorite fighter was Miguel Cotto, and so Miguel Cotto was known for his body shots. So every time he all starts, when he was sparring or fighting, I would just yell out, Miguel Cotto, Miguel Cotto, and he knew exactly what he had to do. And I would name all his favorite fighters, and he knew exactly what, Winky Wright was his other fighter, and that was more the defense, put your hands up. Yeah, hands up. When I needed his hands up or needed him to do a certain thing from Winky Wright, that's what I would yell out. That's awesome. Well, we have a guest. She came on the team. Global Fight Talk is fairly new, and I got a team with us, and she's going to be coming on, and she's going to be asking you some questions. It's just not myself. I have another person that's going to be coming on, so I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Hey, Chris. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just had a couple of questions for you. And the first one is there's been a lot of recent negativity in the headlines recently with Richard Cullen being in a coma, and then the untimely death of Hamza Almi, 19-year-old debut.
Right.
And I just wanted to ask, if you were on trial and you had to defend boxing, and these were some of the names that were brought up, how would you defend boxing as far as
nobody forces us to fight. No, this is all an individual choice where we may be, I wouldn't say swayed, but we may be, where we may have some type of influence on others to fight, or where our coaches may be an influence on us. It's us who sign the contracts. We know exactly what we're getting into. Especially being professional, we sign up for this. Boxing is a beautiful sport, one of the purest sports that you'll ever find. It's one of the oldest sports that you'll ever find. But if you look down through history, there's injuries in every sport. It's sad what's happened. This other young guy dying passing away after his pro debut, but he knew what he was getting involved in. We all do.
Yes, definitely.
We don't necessarily have to defend boxing, because we're all men who decide to sign those contracts. We're all women we're all adults, not men and women. We're all adults who sign our contract and who choose to compete. This is what we wanted to do, and at the end of the day, it is our choice.
I agree. That's a great answer. You've been in boxing now really pretty much more than half of your life. I know that you're new to the pro or is going on your fight. But what advice would you give a teacher, that would come to you and ask you, what you could tell him about the pro world? What would you leave him? What would you say to him?
I would say, first of all, don't ever give up and don't ever lose faith. You need, whether you believe in God or whether you don't believe in God, I personally believe in God, pray, 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 pray. Find what it is that you believe in and hold that faith and keep it. There's going to be people who are going to try to screw you in your professional career, people who are going to try to take advantage of you, people who won't believe in you, people who do believe in you. And fighting those demons is a 50-50 chance either way. So you need to make sure your mind is strong enough, and if you get involved with this sport, make sure you're taking care of yourself first and foremost. You have no one to please but yourself. There's no one putting themselves in harm's way but yourself. So you just, if this is what you want to do, make sure you're going 100% into it. You don't want to do 50%. 95% isn't cutting it. 98% isn't good enough. It's got to be at least 100% in order to take full advantage of the opportunity boxing has to offer.
So it sounds like to me that most of it is also going to be mental.
I believe 75% of it is mental. I believe 75% is mental.
Those are great answers, and we definitely look forward to seeing you Saturday. It's going to be very exciting. Thank you for your time.
Oh, yes, it will. Thank you very much.
Chris, I just want to let you know, I don't know if you recognize that voice.
I do not.
Do you recognize that voice? You do not. Well, let me go ahead and introduce the newest team member of Global Fight.
Right.
It's your mom.
Okay, all right, look. It sounded like my mom at first. I didn't want to say anything, but at first I thought it was my mom. I was like, all right, okay. And then I just kept it going. I was like, whatever. Hi, Mom.
Hey, son.
Well, she's the newest member of our team, Chris, your mom.
Wonderful.
And
wonderful.
I thought that it would have been a beautiful way to get her feet wet, to interview her own son.
Not bad. I mean, I probably should have known. My mom has her hands in everything.
Well, listen, Chris, we're going to go ahead and wrap this interview. But let's talk about where you're fighting, how much are tickets, if people still wanted to get a hold of you and purchase tickets, where can they go and who can they talk to or where can they buy?
Well, the best one to get a hold of is on the line with us, and that is my mother. She, Duchess, that's my mom. You can find me on Twitter. It's Buzz Lightyear 4 Z's. You can find me on Instagram, Fantastico with 4 I's. On Facebook, my name is Christopher Jarrell Jones, and then, of course, my mom is Christine. So you'll find her, and you can get your tickets. Tickets start at $30, and they go up from there. I think we have some 30s and some 50s left, so get your tickets before they run out because it's going to be a great show. There's a bunch of wonderful people fighting on the card, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it.
Chris, any last-minute shout-outs that you want to give before we wrap this up?
Yes, I want to give a shout out to my family. I don't know where I'd be without them. My mom for telling me not to give up, even when I tried to, and telling me that she didn't raise a quitter. Mom, thank you. My stepfather, he's a man of few words, but I know what he means whenever he tells me to get my ass up and go. And of course, just everyone who's been supporting me, whether it be who's coming to train with me at the house or who's at work telling me that I can do this. It doesn't matter. Just everyone who's reached out to me, I appreciate all of you dearly.
Well, Chris, good luck. As another fighter to another fighter, I do understand the hard work you have to put in to step in that ring. Christopher Jones fighting this weekend at the Gas Monkey this Saturday, January 16th. Against Anthony Bowman. It's in Dallas, Texas. Like you said, get his tickets. There's going to be a great amount of great fights on that night. The promotion, the fight card is Big Card Promotions. They put on a very great show. Again, my name is Lisa Marie. This is Global Fight Talk. Christine Lopez, thank you so much for coming on and being part of the team. Any last words, Christine?
So I'm just honored that you asked me to be part of this. It's so exciting. I am just thrilled. I'm on cloud 9, and I just see that we're going to do wonderful things. We've got a lot of fresh talent, and we're going to corner it and interview them.
There you go. Well, again, you guys, I will see you guys this Saturday. Good luck, Chris, and hopefully there'll be plenty more of future interviews. You guys have a good night.
I love you. Bye.
All right, good night. Bye.